Well, I was born in Abington, Pennsylvania in 1967, and spent my first 10 years basically growing up in a suburb of Philadelphia known as Hatboro Horsham. Another close small town is Ambler. And I spent the first 3 years over near Willow Grove, where the air base is. And then when I was 3, we moved into a nice home on Tennis Avenue, sort of a kind of a middle-class, somewhat affluent suburb. And it was a neat street because Tennis Avenue, although it was less than a mile long, you had on one end quite literally the family that farmed all the cornfields that surrounded the area, and then on the opposite end you had the people in the mansion, the people on the hill, quite literally, who, you know, the fire department would come out and dress their tree every year out in the front yard. So there was a wide socioeconomic swath, which was really neat. And then smack dab in the middle were some historic landmarks, including a barn where George Washington stayed on his march to Valley Forge. Lots of places in the area that were reportedly haunted. Mm-hmm. And so it was an idyllic place to be as a kid. Just lots of fields and woods and trails, and I had some wonderful childhood friends. And all this, as I found out after I moved away, was only about 15 miles from Philadelphia. I always thought as a kid we lived hours away from the city, but in fact it was not even a half hour. And so. Had the flyers on Channel 29, and I vividly remember those grainy broadcasts because we were always trying to massage and fiddle with the antenna to get the games, and of course we couldn't, but it didn't matter. It's just the fact that they were on Channel 29. Usually, I remember them being on like Friday or Saturday nights, kind of late being, you know, 8 o'clock or something, and so it was usually me and my sister who was watching them. I think my parents probably tolerated our interest in sports, or at least watching them on TV. That just wasn't really their bag. But you know, I always would talk about sports. I loved to draw as a kid. I still do. But I was always, and you can look at my report cards from elementary school, was always being singled out for drawing hockey players and football players in class when I should have been doing other things. And my dad, being an artist, I think probably got a little chuckle out of it. I had some childhood friends, and we throughout the year had just this schedule of, in the fall and the winter it was football and street hockey, and then in the spring and summer it was football and hockey, and a little bit of baseball thrown in, and we also recreated the Olympics. We had vivid imaginations. And I wanted to be like Bobby Clark so much, I asked people to start calling me Bobby. I figured Rob and Bobby, there's not much of a gap there. I wanted to curl my hair because he had a perm, which was popular at the time. And most notoriously, he was missing his 2 front teeth. So I was asking my friends at school to knock my front teeth out so I could look like him, much to my parents' chagrin. The teeth thing never happened. I tried curling my hair with a pen, you know, or, you know, toilet paper, you know, roll or something. It didn't work. So anyway, he was still a hero of mine, and I really just, I wanted to be him. Warm summer's day. I don't remember who we were playing. I just remember it was at the vet, and our seats, in hindsight, weren't very good. They were up really high. Now, who knows, they may have been good seats. I just felt like we were at the very top and I was looking down. I remember being really scared of climbing the stairs because it was so high and the steps were so narrow. But I think what I remember most, and I still get this feeling every time I walk into an arena, whether it's, you know, whether it's a mega arena or, you know, War Memorial in Rochester, it's, you know, it's walking down that little tunnel and then you know, the gates open, and there's this just pristine, almost otherworldly scene in front of you, and there are these players down there. I mean, calling them ants would have been a compliment. They were so small, but it didn't matter. I was there. Oh, and then I knew that we were going to get a hot dog later on. I thought that was pretty cool. What it's like for them to see it through their eyes. You know, I hold my daughter tightly. It's almost like I don't want to lose her as a child, and I don't want to lose her, period, as just a member of the family. But I also, in a way, I think I want to tap into her or suck in the emotion that maybe she's feeling. Maybe she's feeling nothing at all. I mean, when she goes, I mean, she gives the appearance of, you know, excitement and wonderment and, oh, this is neat. Yeah, oh, they scored, but was it our team or their team? It doesn't matter. So it's trying to, you know, I want to vicariously experience that.